where no pity is shown. And everybody wanna be a G when they grow. Same song in my hood as it is in yours. They send real niggas to the pen and scores. Wars caused by jail, of bitches and punks. Speaking on the ones that's the quickest to death. Until I'm setting it up. My mentality to battle the opponent to death. And checking every nigga ever wanted to step in my direction. With the question for testing. The section I represent for inspection. For some jumping, I'm dumping. Pumping fear in your ear when you hear that I'm running.
Somebody somewhere, best beware my crew.
It's groovy how I soothe thee. Quite complex, so who's next to flex? These MCs, please. I'm fed up, head up. That explains the way I display. Any time of day, a duel dynamically with the lyrical tool. Fuels on the fire, burning desire to get this rap game stretched down to the wire. Sire, I'm composed as a blast you'll see. From the T to the CH and IEC. Free from all this nonsense, guilt and shame. Can't trust no hoes, they the ones to blame. For what I didn't been through, seen and touched. Got them into insight, the hoes talk too much. And out of my mouth comes nothing but game. And out of your mouth, please keep my name. Cause verbally you heard of the TEC. But why chase after he you cannot see?
Somebody somewhere, best beware my crew.
Recognize game when it's all in your face, off safety. Close range hitters in the mask when I aim, then shoot. Out the window of the coupe, jump with the gas, I swoop. To the slow key spot, the lay low from the duo. I put my gun away, cause they got done away. Buy a record, pull the trigger tight, niggas see the stages of mics. The shooting gauges off bikes, it's like living and dying while laughing and crying. In the same breath, you gain less. Messing in the lesson, I'm stressing for real. Unless you feel that you strong enough to go long enough, it ain't nothing but a thing. Nigga, can you hang? I bang. Similar to a gang, hit you up. And on the mic, I ain't nothing nice. I leave you with your mental disturbed. Selling cat smoking chronic on the curb. Hollering at my boy about them dollars and them dollars with the switches. Still loving no hoes, trusting none of y'all bitches. Cause the key is to see through the tracks, cause they set. Rappers like craps, I hit nigga bet.
Somebody somewhere, best beware my crew. Somebody somewhere, best beware my crew.
Gotta make my ends the best way I can. Because my man's in the pen for 10. Told me to handle his biz. Told me to handle his biz and keep away from his friends. But the South chose to take another route. Get a lover and discover what the game was about. Traded in the biz for a Chevy Suburban. Tossed up the vote, now we ready to swerve. Smart out a nigga dizzy. Spare tire hoes are busy for us to get busy. From city to city we mash. All they ever seen was the 95 cash. Cinema, the little cinema, pretty one. Wanna get 'em up with anyone. From sun up to sundown, serving pound for pound. Looking to the yay run down.
It ain't too many crews that can do this shit. Rude bitches act to act, promoting gangsta shit. Cause see, that's what people love, all about the compilation. And since the shit drop, everybody got conversation. Some people love us, some people won't. But do I give a fuck? No, I don't. And when them dog pound killers step next to me, I try my best to bury their CIX big dick. Now that's gangsta. When you can throw a lick and make that grip and continue to dip. See, I trip. Cause the click I got with spit. Gangsta shit and we commit what? A revolution of performing confusion and fucking niggas up in this game of music. Now that's gangsta.
Somebody somewhere, best beware my crew.
Now that's gangsta.
Somebody somewhere, best beware my crew.
For the people, by the people. 360 degrees of knowledge in hip hop.
Knowledge itself, there's nothing I can't solve. In 360 degrees, I revolve.
Real hip hop heads conscious radio.
Suckers never play me. What's up? Welcome to Real Hip Hop Heads Conscious Radio. I am Brother Peace, sitting up in this piece with Conscious with a capital C.
All right.
And the lovely sister Ambition. Before we start, please excuse the delay. We had some problems going on with the technology back here. But as always, we worked through it, and here we are on the air. Beware of my crew. We don't let shit stop us. Anyway, as I always say before we do the show, thank everybody that's tuned in now or who's going to tune in later, or who's going to watch the show after it's off the air live. We do appreciate it, and pass the word around. People that tune in, hit the subscribe button and hit the reminder button. That way you don't have to remind yourself to tune into the show on Wednesday. It'll do it for you. We surely appreciate it because this is for us, by us. All right. So, was good.
That's it. We almost did our 4 miles today. But no.
Th-
Yeah,
three,
almost.
three.
Three.
We were 1/10 and 100th of a mile off.
Yeah, Mr. Fancy.
Yeah,
Mr. Fancy. 3.88. Yes.
that's no 4 miles.
Oh, I'm just say four.
That was my. So I'm like, it's 4 miles. Like,
Because we're doing the walk a mile challenge. So, we've been doing what, 3 miles, over 3 miles,
yeah,
pretty
three
much
point
every day.
five.
So we try to make our four, but
Tomorrow it will
I
be
tapped
4.
out. I ain't gonna lie.
It'll be 4 tomorrow.
It was hot. Oh, we doing it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cause see, the thing was also the counter when I
It stops at
told her to
3.
check it, it wasn't still going. It's like when you actually stop, then it'll actually tell you what the distance is. Because she only had a mark for 3 miles, so at 3 miles, it told us, "Oh, you hit the 3 miles," but it'll still keep counting like silently. Once you stop it, then it'll pop up on the screen. So tomorrow we'll have it marked for 4 miles, and we'll do that. Speaking of the Real Hip Hop Heads Conscious Radio Walk a Mile Challenge, I periodically go on there and look. I don't know if it's on ours. Has anybody
I received.
joined the challenge? I didn't think so. I posted something, a comment, because one of the reasons why um I put this challenge out there is because not only because of the health benefits, because obesity, with cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Okay, these are direct in line directly with obesity, and this shit's killing people. Okay, and I see too many of our people walking around, and instead of putting the hot dog down, putting the Coke down, putting the snacks down, just put one down. Hey, you probably drink six Cokes a day. Cut it down to half. How about you just start there? We just cut it down to half. You have 5 snacks, cut it down to say 3. You know what I'm saying? And watch your eating and then walk. Say, if you don't have a track to go to or a park, walk around the block. Just start with one lap around the block if that's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to rush yourself. Don't overexert yourself. You want to take your time and build up to it. But this is for your health because this stuff is killing us. And trust me, I saw yesterday and today there were 2 commercials, 2 different medicines for diabetes. They're coming out with different medicines and different convenient ways for you to administer this medicine so it doesn't hurt anymore. The old school way of stabbing yourself with the needle, and all that. They like, no, we got this little EpiPen thing here. No, we got this one here. You don't even feel it. You can test this using your cell phone. They're making it really, really convenient for people to live with this instead of going on a campaign and campaigning for people to get their ass out there and exercise and cut the weight down. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to do that because it cuts down on the money. Like we say, the money's not in the actual healing. You know what I'm saying? The money is in the treating of the sickness. Okay. We want you to stay sick so we can continue to give you the medicine. If we tell you how to get rid of that shit, you go out there and get rid of it. Now we lost us another customer. Which actually brings us to today's show, legal drug dealing, and later on, these people are playing us. Look at the food. They don't want you to get slim. They don't want you to stop eating all that garbage because Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, all these places will probably go out of business because they're selling all that fucking bullshit. They scrape it up off the floors and shit. They pack it up and shit, and color it brown and shit, make it look like a hot dog. They make that mystery meat look like some soupy ass. I don't know. It don't look like me. So it's for health reasons why I actually put the Walk 'em Out challenge out there. Okay, because I truly want our people to get healthy. Okay, because we can't protect ourselves. We can't if we're not a healthy people. You know what I'm saying? Can't do it. The second was I've seen too many challenges out there where people are doing dumb shit, just really, really off the wall, asking ridiculous shit. These fools, 15 minutes of fame would jump and stick something in their eye or do something crazy. LB. I put this challenge out there for people to actually basically save their lives, start working on their health. Not one response. Not one. Now, this is not, I'm not ripping the people that's trying to get out there and do it, because I understand a lot of people get up and go to work every day and they got really, really busy lives. And I understand it's hard to get to it. I got you. I'm not talking about you guys. You guys like, I'm going to get to it. And back up. Stand by. We have technical difficulties.
Okay, we're at, I see it there.
All right, back from the technical difficulties. It's going down in here. I don't know, but anyway, we're gonna keep pushing.
Stop talking about that health.
But anyway, like I said, the show today is legal drug dealing and legal gang banging. Okay, um, the law states that drug dealing and gang banging are against the law. The penalty for indulging in either is very steep if you're black. If you're born with the privilege, however, then it's a good chance that you're going to walk. We're living in times where Big Pharma is pushing opioids into the communities at literally epidemic proportions, resulting in a staggering body count. The penalty for getting caught, an out of court settlement, basically hush money. No jail time, no new legislation against the selling of these drugs, nothing. Yet if you are a regular Joe and you get caught on the street selling these particular drugs, you're going to jail. And who's there to facilitate the procedure? The legalized gang, the goddamn police. As if things weren't bad enough, they've changed the protocol when approaching people of color. Everything is virtually the opposite when dealing with Afro Americans. They approach us and actually escalate the situation, completely skip escalation of force procedure, and go right into shoot to kill mode. And the magic words are, "I feared for my life." It may seem a little over exaggerated, but the proof is all over social media, mainstream media, and last but not least, the morgue. Yes, the morgue. Make no mistake, people, we live in America that's spelled with three Ks. Home of the thief, land of the slave. If we don't start taking care of ourselves, we will be walking in the footsteps of our ancestors. I hated to put it that way, but again, I'm lying. I didn't hate to put it that way. I like to put it straight. Okay, no mustard on my fucking hot dog. Straight up. Um, the reason why I came with that is because Sister A and I were I was actually looking at the news and looking on the internet, and I've been following the story about the opioid epidemic in Oklahoma has been filing lawsuits against Purdue Pharmaceuticals and Teva Pharmaceuticals, which is based out of Israel, and also Johnson and Johnson, the baby powder people, but they actually make drugs too. The opioids, they're the ones that actually makes the fentanyl patch, which is actually, I think they say it's like shit 10, 15, 20 times stronger than an actual opioid. You put that patch right there and your ass, it take your ass to the moon quick. Well, um, these opioids that they're pushing on the streets, I mean, like I said, epidemic levels, and people are dying by the thousands. Now, mind you, You're talking Oklahoma, so I'm quite sure it's not. It has nothing to do with a lot of black folks. I'm quite sure there's some salt and pepper in the group there, some kind of way, but it's not really the black folks because if it's the black folks, ain't nobody saying shit. They're gonna keep pumping more in there, making more money. It's them white folks, but them white folks is getting knocked off by this shit. So now they're out there and they're complaining and they're filing lawsuits. Well, these lawsuits often end up settled out of court. Purdue Pharmaceuticals settled for $270 million out of court. Okay. And Teva, which is based out of Israel, they produced a generic version of it, of these medicines, or these opioids. I'm not calling them medicines. They settled out of court. They just settled out for 85 million. I'm still waiting to see what's going on with Johnson and Johnson because what they're trying to do with these people is show, like Johnson and Johnson, they're going to try to show that these people actually purposely and recklessly push the shit on the streets. Now, we did a show before on these opioids and the opioid epidemic, and I mentioned Purdue. Purdue, I found out back when, was actually sued by the government because of all the damn opioids that they were pushing out. They found out that these guys were pushing, I mean, 10 and 20 times the amount of opioids to the doctor's offices. The prescriptions that they were writing and all the medicine, the stuff that they were getting, they were pushing that. So when it's like that, dude, these people have figured out a legal way to sell drugs. Okay, but since they're rich, they're billionaires. Nobody's saying nothing. As long as you grease my pocket, we're all good. The government, they took their stab at it. I think they got broke off some $600 million, 600 or $700 million. They settled with them. They gave them, the government shut up. So they kept on doing business. I think Purdue, um, the guy who was running it at the time, the owner, one of the owners, this is the Purdue family or whatever. This dude actually placed blame on the opioid victims, the people who then got strung out on this shit. He placed blame on them, refusing to accept any responsibility for this shit that you guys are pushing out on the goddamn street. But it's not just them. You guys are supplying. You guys are supplier. Okay. It's like going over South America where all the shit comes, the coca comes from, it comes into this country. They're the supplier. But you got the drug dealers, the big time drug dealers, the doctors in the hospitals. They're all set up waiting to take the product and get it on the street. All you got to do is walk in there talking about my foot hurt. Oh, I fell. I need painkillers. Get opioid. Straight up, you ain't really got to go in there and say too much of nothing, dude. And these bitches will give you some opioids. I know in the VA though, they cut that shit out, but not. They only cut it out after, and they start trying to give you the lowest kind of painkiller there is. It don't work worth a shit. But in any case, they broke that shit down, and but this is after you done strung all these vets out. These soldiers that were in there. I mean, when we're in there, they were giving you big ass fucking bottles of this shit. It's here. You got pain here. Long as your ass able to lace up your boots and get your ass out that wire and go to fighting, here, take this. So you got a bunch of dudes running around high and shit all fucking day. They able to just chew these damn things like Skittles, no big deal. They come back to the world. They need them damn opioids. So they were doing it back here, but they was like, wait a minute. We got too many dudes. We need to check into this shit. These dudes are strung out. But it's like the same cycle repeats itself because in Vietnam, it was heroin. You know what I'm saying? They were some form of heroin that they were giving these soldiers for the pain and such, and they strung them out. It's the same thing here. But like I said, if you get caught selling those pills on the street, they put your ass in jail. Yet you got the company that's making them, they're purposely flooding the streets with this shit. Like they said Purdue is worth 12 some 11 or 12 billion dollars. Like $12 billion. They're literally making money hand over fist. They got more money they know what to do with. slanging dope. I mean, you can call it what you want. You can kind of dress it up and whatever. They're a pharmaceutical company. Oh, he's a doctor. He's a dude. They're dope dealers.
Drugs are drugs.
Bottom line, that's it. Drugs are drugs. That shit you're giving people is stringing them folks out. I think it kills something to the tune of, like I said, the white folks. Long as it's the white folks getting killed off, then they're like, oh, we need to do something about this. But like I said, you guys ain't saying shit until it starts to kill you. And then once it starts to kill you, you got your hand out for the money. Once they give you the money, then you go away.
Well, you had, a couple mothers, who lost their kids to the, epidemic, and then and here comes the campaign, and this and that. Like you said, now because it's affecting them, it's an issue. When it was affecting us, it didn't matter. It was legal genocide. Period.
Yeah, it don't make a difference as long as it's us.
Yeah, but when it's their kids, we're gonna start campaigning and really getting these people dance about this shit.
Now, mind you, those people there are pissed because they lost some loved ones. They're like, wait a minute, fuck this shit. They're really some of them people are really serious, but then once it makes it to the court, you got the state suing these companies, not actually that person. They might be the match that started that whole thing, but at the same time, now it didn't spun into something big, you know, because you got like say, and this is how crazy it is. They found emails from the Purdue Pharmaceuticals CEO Richard Sackler. He wrote an acquaintance in 2001. Abusers aren't victims; they are the victimizers. So what that is that motherfucker is strung out on the shit. He's a repeat customer. So he gonna tell you anything. He gotta tell you to get that shit. But you the one who supplied him with the shit. But see, that dude's sitting up there and eating, drinking fucking $30 bottle of fucking water. He could care less what's going on down here. But also it's saying about 2,000 lawsuits against the Connecticut-based company, the maker of OxyContin, have been filed around the country in the wake of opioid crisis that's named the Sackler family in Purdue. The lawsuit representing communities in 26 states as well as 8 tribes noted the Sackler family is worth an estimated $13 billion, partly due to the more than decade-long marketing campaign to boost sales of OxyContin. At the same time, the economic cost of the U.S. to the U.S. for the opioid epidemic was $504 billion in 2015. Now,
Absolutely crazy.
where's all this money coming from? No, dude, that costs the U.S. economy. It costs the U.S. for the opioid epidemic $5.4 billion. It's coming from the taxpayers. Rich people ain't gonna pay for that. They're talking about the helping these people, medical costs and rehabs and all that shit and the deaths and all this shit going on. That's the taxpayers. They go push that right off on the taxpayers. But what I'm looking at is all this shit going on, and you guys know who's doing it, where it's coming from. Yet you guys ain't put nobody in jail. You're going to court to sue these people. Basically, it's a civil thing. Okay. What about all the people that's dying from this shit? I think it's like 48,000 people.
Well, it's quite a bit. Quite a bit.
It's up there. It's up there. The number of people that are dying behind this shit right now, mind you, it's hard for me to actually give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't give a damn about what the fuck happens to us. Okay, if that was 48,000 black folks, you wouldn't even hear nothing about this. But since it's the white folks, and as I said, there's probably some black folks that salt and peppered in there. Okay, but these are mainly white people. That's why it's getting all the coverage. But I'm not seeing anybody being held criminally liable. Nobody is being taken to court and being charged with a crime because it's legal. But it might be legal. It is legal to make that the opioid, which is you put it in a medicine. You know what I'm saying? The OxyContin, the Percocet. There's the other one, Vicodin, Oxy, something. I had them. I had all them shits, but there's several of them that they have it in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The muscle relaxers and shit. They got the opioid in it. That's the one that gives you the relief. You know what I'm saying? But it's also the shit that gets you high. You know what I'm saying? But
That Percocet.
for medical purposes, yeah, you're making this for medical purposes and whatnot. But these people that took it way past that. They done took it way past that, and they're fucking flooding the street. And the doctors are taking this shit because these fools are getting paid. You write all these goddamn scripts and shit to the point where the person walking in and say, "Hey, man, I fell." Okay.
Well, remember those commercials they were showing? I don't know if you watch them, but they have these commercials. I think it's two of them. I think one's a guy and one's a girl, and they were saying that one of them ran into a wall on purpose, just so
In
he
the
could get,
car.
yeah,
The
in the
girl,
car.
the girl in the car.
And then they got one was a guy, yeah, he did something. I think he rammed his head or something, just so he could come back to get
Yeah.
the
Oh,
pills, yeah,
I didn't see the guy. I saw the
yeah. They
girl.
got a guy.
She was driving and she was talking about she had an accident. Originally had an accident. She had an accident and got to the doctor. She broke bones or whatever, and they gave her, you know, opioids or whatever. And then she got through all that and healed or whatever. But what she didn't know in the process, she done fucked around and got addicted to these damn
Yeah.
things. And she was able to get them, but now these motherfuckers have cut her off. Now she's like, I didn't realize what lengths I would go to
Yeah.
or go through to get these opioids. Then motherfucker driving and she pulls up in a parking lot, takes the seatbelt off, and stomps on the gas. Whoa! Straight to a fucking wall. Blam! So she go to the doctor, get some
Yeah.
opioids. Yo, but like I said, it's been the government says, yeah, the pharmaceutical companies, they're responsible for making this stuff and they got guidelines, but they're clearly way outside them damn guidelines. The government went in and you just said something because you found wrongdoing, but since they greased your palm, you went the hell away. Now, in the government, you got those lawmakers that's getting their shit, they palms greased with all this, that 600-700 million, they took that shit and split that shit up, went on about their business. But nobody's being held criminally liable for any of this shit. This guy up here, the CEO of the company, he's like, yo, shit, ain't us. Fuck that. It's some damn victims. They're struck out. I mean, really. But I'm looking at us as black folks. We see this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We see stories every day, you know what I'm saying, of these fucked up events that are occurring dealing with black people, you know, dealing with these white folks coming down on us, doing all these crazy things to us, and our kids coming up missing, our wives coming up missing, people's husbands and brothers and sisters just coming up missing. You know what I'm saying? And nothing's being done about it. I just saw right before the show, I saw it was a woman. Somebody posts, they post it every year. I think 2009, she got arrested and was up in California. She got arrested. When they let her go, they let her go. It's like about a mountain somewhere. They let her go. They took her up in the mountains. They let some it's like San Bernardino, way out there somewhere. They let her go out there and like, dude, that's not where you arrested her. And now you gonna let her go. You just let her walk out there and nobody knew what the fuck happened to her. They found her in a goddamn ravine about a year later. And it was not too far away from the damn police station. kind of information as to what the hell happened to that woman. Police saying shit. But stuff like this is like it's happening every day. Nobody's saying shit. There's no regard for the black life. I mean, because now that this big pharma, they're straight pushing drugs out. Bam, they're pushing it out. Okay, all right. Crack dealing in L.A. and in the streets and shit. Oh, it's big time against the law. You can't do that. That's drugs. You're a drug dealer. Yo, pharmaceutical companies, they're drug dealers. They're making this shit right there in their labs, and they're out here pushing that shit on the streets at a high rate. It's killing a high number of people. They're drug dealers.
And how many, be honest with you, how many white people compared to black people? How many black people do you see selling pills? Period. No, but seriously, when ain't selling pills.
Exactly. Now, mind you, where these black folks getting this shit from? They make sure the hoods are supplied heavily with all this bullshit. Okay, it's to be sold, but they make us out to be like we're just total savages for selling this shit, which we are because you're selling this to your damn same people. Okay, you selling that to this young girl over here or that young dude over there, homie. Just imagine that's your brother or that's your sister. That what you're selling this to this young girl. What happens when your sister goes to a party and somebody convinces her, hey, go ahead, take a hit of this, whatever, boom, and she gets strung out. Now instead of going to you, she's going to somebody else on the other block. She's buying the same poison that you selling to this dude's sister.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are just on two different blocks, same poison to each other's sisters. It's ridiculous. But we're black, so everything that we do is wrong. Okay, this gives them a reason to get up and go out there and make their money. Creating all these damn different departments in the police stations and these task forces and all this shit because the big black bag, the black people are out there selling drugs and they're what super predators and blah 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 because they got to fill up the jail cells. You know what I'm saying? It's just all this is just a disguise to get these fools paid. They keep a job, they stay paid. Okay, at our expense. Now, dealing with the police, I'm noticing now. Well, I ain't noticing now, but what's going down, man? We saw two instances where a guy, it was a regular traffic stop, and the cop pulled up. He asked for the guy's driver's license. The guy went to reach for his driver's license. Motherfucker stuck a gun in the fucking window. He's like, put your hands. He dude was like, yo, why you got that gun on me? It's just, for one, it's just a regular traffic stop. And that guy, wasn't he the passenger?
Which one are you talking about?
The first one.
I don't think I saw that one. I saw the one I showed.
I'm looking like, oh, you can see this guy's hands. He was like, why do you have this gun on me? I mean, his dude was like this in the window, holding the gun sideways and shit. I'm like, the whole time. He was like, don't move, such and such. He was like, you asked for my license. He said, could you put the gun away, man? The girl was over there filming the shit, and she was going crazy and shit. Like, dude, what are you doing? Why? What is the gun necessary for? You know what I'm saying? She sounded like she was white. The guy, I think he looked like he was a light-skinned black dude. Okay.
Oh, that's the one with the tech where she said you can't just use a
taser.
taser.
Yes, like, don't you have a taser? And what she was referring to is the escalation of force. Okay. They have nightsticks, they have pepper spray, they have tasers, and then you have your lethal force, which is your pistol or your shotgun or your M4, whatever. You're supposed to, first of all, you're supposed to approach the situation, okay, and with the mindset of de-escalating the situation. So if these people are not irate already, they're cool, they calm demeanor, and they're trying to cooperate, that's a good thing. You're supposed to go ahead and keep it at that level. So you can go ahead and find out what's going on, give them a ticket, or whatever you're going to do. Let them go about their business. They go about theirs. But the cops, on the other hand, That's not how it goes. Okay. These people now, they got the green light from the orange man up top and all the way on down. Okay. They got the green light. The one that you're talking about, they pulled it at the supermarket or no, at the gas station. The
I
boy
seen
was
that
trying,
one,
huh?
and he was like, you just saying you want me to put my hands and grab my
Yeah, he
ID.
kept his hand because
So
first he told him he had a gun. He was
Yeah,
like,
he's
he
like,
got a
good,
gun.
good.
And he was like, I don't got no gun. How I got a gun? My hands are out the window.
He tried to get him to reach for his keys, like, turn the car off. He's like, man, my hands are right here. I'm not reaching for them keys because I reach for the keys, you going to shoot me. He had his hands out the window, like, my hands are right here. The other cops didn't even, they looked over there and they ain't bothered to walk. I'm like, you know what? Homie, you on that island now. You trying to create this shit so you can shoot this motherfucking dude. And then now you're part of that club. It's like some kind of initiation now. But the thing is, you're supposed to walk up and de-escalate, right? Okay. They completely skip the de-escalation part of it because they walk up with these attitudes, and a lot of times
It's to agitate instead of de-escalate.
exactly
That's what the hell
they walk up
do.
and they walk up
They bank on you being agitated.
with an attitude. Some of them have the guns out already. Okay, you see that? Who in the hell is not going to get agitated? You walk up, you got a pistol already out your holster. Okay, soon as they agitate, they agitate you. That's their excuse to now jump in there and get to acting foolish. You know what I'm saying? Want to snatch on you, beat on you, pull out, shoot on, all of that. They create the situation and they take the situation and they escalate it. Okay. They completely ignore everything that you're supposed to be doing. De-escalation. Okay. You can't de-escalate it. Okay. Then you go through escalation of force. If you find out you have to use force, because it went to that level, you escalation of force. Okay, you pepper spray. All right, if the person's there, pepper spray him. If that don't take him down, you got your taser. Okay, or you got your nightstick. You got all these other options. They completely skip all of that shit. Now, the way that they'll use that is if it's a white person, they'll sit right there and explain the hell out themselves, talk for an hour, 2 hours. These white folks, I see white people with weapons.
I've seen one get in a car.
Did you see the one that stopped? He was jumping on top of the police car, and then he kicked out the window.
Yeah.
Well, they finally, they snapped him off, but still, he was still alive. He was stomping his shit all on the damn top of that. I can see him. It's stomping on top of the police car. Then he kicked in the window. I mean, he was talking all kind of shit, and then all of a sudden, they just like slid him down off the car. But I'm like, wow. But you know what? I have the story real quick, which is it's very disturbing to me. It's from a Michigan Department of Corrections. They actually had to settle a lawsuit for $860,000, and this was from a 2015. One of the inmates had committed suicide, and the guards, what they did was they placed a bet that she would take her own life. So the bet was over a Subway sandwich.
Wow.
But the thing was, and her name is Janika Edmond. She was only 25. So what was happening was she told them that she needed a prevention vest for the suicide. She kept telling her, I guess she felt like she was gonna commit suicide. So she was like, I need a prevention
The actual
vest.
inmate?
Yeah, the actual inmate. And what they did was they ignored her. So she kept telling the correction officers that she was intended to kill herself. So at that point, one of the officers yelled, "Somebody owes me lunch," because they were betting on her. And eventually, she ended up going in there, and they could hear the choking sounds, but nobody went to check on her. And then finally, after 3 days in the hospital, she ended up dying. But they said she had a history of mental illness and incidents which she had considered killing herself before. So, they ended up having to settle because they got caught, and it was $860,000. which had to cover her legal fees, and
It
everything.
was only $860,000.
Eight hundred
Not
sixty
even $1 million.
$860,000 settlement.
They're gonna take a third of that in taxes.
Well, the legal fees, they're taking legal fees out of that. Then she had two brothers, which will receive 275,000 each, and then one of the correction officers who took the bet was fired after investigation, but then she was reinstated. And then the other one pleaded no contest for involuntary manslaughter, and she was sentenced to 6 months in jail.
Wow.
But then the other one that actually got her job back, she ended up quitting anyway. But I mean, like you said, our life has no value whatsoever to these people. And like you said, that she only got 860. I think honestly, there's no price on death, or your child died, or a person in your family, or a friend, or whatever. You can't bring them back with money. But you would bet. I mean, this lady literally asked you for a vest, a suicide vest, so that she wouldn't do this. And you guys knew she had attempted this several times before. And then you turn around and you bet a damn Subway sandwich on somebody's life. Like, that's some cool shit.
You know what? And I brought up all of these this stuff about the pharmaceutical companies and their drug dealing and shit, and the stuff about these cops, and it's just like you're talking about now, because we're walking today, and I was talking about I started getting upset because I'm seriously sitting thinking, I'm like, dude, how many shows have we done? And anybody that was that were watching the show when we started, we have a lot of shows, dude, out there that you can go through, man, and you'll see all the stuff that we were talking about, man. And I hear other shows, and our show, we got Night Watch, we got several other shows in the conscious community, and we got other brothers and sisters out there, man, that are on the same page as far as informing our people. And a lot of those brothers really get as to it's not getting. It's at that point now, really, that people are scared to say it because of the repercussions, and the consequences behind saying stuff. And I understand that, but I gotta say it, man. We're at that time now where, dude, they back in the 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, they'll drag a black person off the street and take them off in them damn woods and hang their ass, and nobody would know nothing. I mean, you can see postcards now where they had hanging parties. Okay, back in the 1800s, they had what they called where picnic comes from, pick a nigga. Okay, and they would go and have a picnic, but they're hanging this brother or sister or whatever, and they're out there making a big deal about it with the food and the music and the celebration and all that. You got your kids and everybody out there watching these people hang black folks. Okay, we're at that time now because look at the shit going. The cops are not. They're doing this shit totally unabated. Nobody's saying anything. The folks ain't doing shit. People, they're killing people in the jail cells. They're killing us out here on the streets. Walk up with the damn gun and shove it in your goddamn window, and nobody, and on video. We're not talking about you just go. We got witnesses, eyewitnesses. No video, and these guys are still able to kill us and walk away. Me personally, what needs to happen is brothers and sisters need to start fucking fighting back. And I ain't talking about just no goddamn words. Brothers and sisters need to take up some damn arms. If you don't know how to shoot, you don't know how to use a firearm, David, we got some sisters and brothers and the groups out there that are actually teaching black folks how to properly shoot. I mean, I can do it myself. I can show people, what I'm saying? We got over on the Night Watch, a panel of veterans You know what I'm saying? They know how to use firearms. But the bottom line is we're sitting back and we're doing a lot of talking, and people are steady dying, and the talk is not changing anything. We need to bottom line. If there's something wrong with me saying that shit, then so be it. Can't keep getting hit in your goddamn mouth. I mean, I grew up knowing, hey man, guard your damn grill. If you don't, you're getting your shit pushed in. Straight up. Somebody should all your shit's back. All your fronts is on the fucking floor, the whole nine. Straight up. That's what's going on now. Okay. Black folks are being extremely submissive, and there's no more what do they call it? Comply. It was this like, yo, know your rights, okay? You can know your rights all damn day long, but all that's doing is antagonizing these motherfuckers. They're looking for you to say anything. You cannot be doing nothing. They want to kill. They're at that point now. They want blood. So there's no explanation. There's no explaining. No sitting down and talking to them. There's no none of that shit. They want to take your goddamn car with their pistol out, got it in the damn window. You ain't did shit. You got your damn hands up, full compliance of everything, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Got your hands hanging out the window. They snatched that young man out of his goddamn car. And the rest of him, he's like, yo, what the hell? They want blood. And they're getting blood. All this talking, this informing people, that's great. But we got to make a stand. Straight up. I mean, it's like, damn. And it can't be just one. It's got to be us as a whole. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be us as the ones that want to sit over and had it not going on. They're here, out there, on the west, out on the east. We got to start figuring out, man. We got to come together, man, and figure out exactly how we're going to do that. All right, we're going to the Bay Area because them brothers out there. We need to sit down and we need to have a serious meeting on the next steps. Okay, the next phase of this whole deal. Because I mean, I seriously get sick of tossing these stories around. It's like, okay, this is good conversation. This is a good conversation piece. But dude, we're talking about people's lives. These are real individuals. What happens when it's somebody that you know that's really close to you? It's not somebody you saw on Facebook. Somebody else's people. That's why I actually, was getting upset today about that shit. But they got us cornered so fucking tough. You got these people legally pushing this shit out on the streets, stringing folks out. Okay, ain't nobody being held accountable. Nobody's going to jail. They just grease somebody's pockets, palms. They go away. The cops is out here shooting folks on the streets. They go to jail. They're out here fucking killing us in the goddamn jails. They're locking everybody up and shit, keeping the jails full. You look at the goddamn school. I did these soft numbers. Incarceration inmates. It costs nationwide an average of $31,000 per inmate to house an inmate. That's to feed him, house him, give him his little clothes or whatever, all that shit. And an average of $31,000. That's nationwide, okay? But it varies from state to state. As much as $60,000, depending on what state it's in, to house an inmate. That's why these fools out here building these goddamn these prisons, the private prisons, is big money, $1 billion industry. Okay, who foots the bill?
Taxpayers.
Yep, the good old taxpayer. All right, and go over to the schools. All right, it costs an average of $11,392. I'm talking about high school to school, regular school. All right, break it down by states. Depending on that's an average, a nation average. Break it down, it goes between $7,000 to $20,000 depending on which state you're in. Okay, these people are getting. That's why in those states where it's $7,000, you can imagine which states those are. Those are states where it's a lot of black kids in them schools. Okay, and if you notice the graduation rate for black kids, nationally it's high. It's in the 80 percentile. But like, wait a minute. If that number is so damn high, why are we still at the top of the damn chart on the unemployment rate? Why are we the most unemployed, but we got an 80, we're like 80-85% graduation rate, but we're the ones that's least employed. Something ain't right with the numbers. If you do the numbers, something's not right. They getting paid to keep these motherfuckers in school. They getting paid for that. All right? Go over to college. They get you hooked into the goddamn school. Okay, yeah, you go to college. Cool. But they don't want to give you a scholarship. Go get your little loans. Then you walk out with a fucking huge debt. Averaging what, say, 80 to $100,000 for 4 years of school. You had to go get a loan to go to school to get your degree. You get your goddamn degree, but now you're $82,000 in debt already. You just got done with school, and you got your first job yet. Homie, this whole system is rigged, and black folks are the ones at the bottom of the goddamn pile getting stomped on.
And you know, a crazy thing is, if you look at it, the inmates and people in prison, they get free lunch and food due to the taxpayers, but kids in school got to pay for lunch.
They'll take it from you.
You know, they take it right out your hand.
You know what? I want to go to Alcovey. I want to go up to Alcovey, and I want to investigate that shit. I feel like stirring some shit up.
Hmm.
For real. Okay, I understand if that child comes there and they don't have any money or they don't have the ticket or whatever. How I don't know, I forget how they do it or whatever. But the child's obviously hungry, and they don't have it, so you take it back from them. You don't already put it across it, but they don't have any money or whatever, and you take the food right back from them.
Hmm.
They don't have a thing where, okay, if you don't have money to pay for this is the regular lunch. They don't have a secondary alternative like the brown bag with just like say a peanut butter jelly sandwich and a milk.
They used to. They used to. I don't know about now. They didn't do it when we start leaving out of high school. They didn't have that no more.
Oh, it did from elementary. I think.
You know what? I've noticed too. We were at the basketball games and stuff like that. So many of them kids walking around there are hungry
Yep.
because you see one of them will come in with some fries, and the whole crew will be on that motherfucker about trying to get a fry, or they see a girl over there trying to get a couple fries. I'm like, that ain't just for the taste. These dudes, these kids are hungry. They go home and really don't have anything to eat at home. Condiments. I've been there. It's not funny.
And while we're talking about school, let me hit y'all with one quick thing about school, and then I'll hit you about something else. A brother got arrested for trespassing and battery after these three girls tried to jump his sister.
Huh?
Three girls tried to jump his sister, so he came to the school and he stopped it. But one of the girls jumped on him and he pushed her off, and they arrested him for battery and trespassing.
Supposed to be here.
Hey, listen, I guess I'd be in the same
Just
boat
saying.
because shit, I'd
Now-
be
I mean,
damn.
I'm not saying he's wrong, but
No,
I'm
no,
saying
he didn't.
wasn't supposed to be here.
Where he messed up was he didn't go get a visitor's pass. His sister called. He came to the school. He found his sister, and they was getting ready to jump her.
Technicality. See, that's
Yep.
all technicality. Now he is okay because you didn't get a visitor's pass. You are legally, if you're not a student, you're trespassing. You're not a student or employee, you are trespassing. Okay. The assault and all the other shit, dude. You know what? All that shit can be tossed out. That right there is just that's a matter of opinion. Whoever the convening authority is, they have the choice to whether it's just let it go. Like, dude, next time come check in or call us or something, whatever. But they don't have to push that. Especially seeing in light of the situation that happened, the sister's being jumped on. Okay, I mean nobody's helping. I mean, this dude comes from the house to the school, searching throughout the school and to find his sister there, and there was nobody else in the entire goddamn school to help.
Hmm.
That's a bad look.
Yeah.
That's a really really bad look because I would have done the same shit.
Oh yeah. Freaknik. I'm just bringing this up because this is the one of the most states, the state with the most of AIDS and high age rate and stuff.
Highest aid rate. Yeah.
Yeah. They are no longer having it as a child friendly event. They are. Yeah. So they're having it adults only. So all I'm going to tell everybody is be safe. If you don't be a fool, use your tool. And that's all I'm going to tell you. Just wrap that thing up. Whew.
Yeah. You know what? I'm so not even gonna support that bullshit.
Hey, you know what?
I was telling you to read it.
I see Divine Justice. Peace was good, G. Um, it says, did you see they're taking Johnson and Johnson in Oklahoma? But let's see if they apply that to Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family. Okay, so what you're talking about is I know they're taking them to court. I think they started their court procedures Tuesday. So is that actually criminal court, or is that they're just trying to sue Johnson and Johnson, or are they trying to hold them criminally liable? Because I think I'm looking at this as it goes on, as it plays out. I think if they are trying to hold Johnson and Johnson criminally liable, and they actually get them on something, I think they're gonna go. I think it'll bleed over to Purdue and that Sackler family because they were actually eyeballing that family and they were doing some type of investigation. That's how they dug up those emails and found out that this dude don't give two fucks about what's going on. But also he says it's self-defense responsibility. It sure the hell is. It's man, look, like I said, we coming to the Bay Area. And we want to sit down. We're gonna do a live show up there as well. But we want to sit down at one of the good old eating spots you guys got up there, man, and go visit the flea market and all in the Northgate store, all of that. We want to see all of those things. I told you we're gonna shoot our next video up there, but also we're gonna sit down and we're gonna hash out some shit because we need to really start something and get some shit moving and get some. I mean, really make a difference. Okay, I think we've got pretty much a good platform. We got one. You guys got the Night Watch. You know, what I'm saying, so we're actually building this little conglomerate, and they may not seem like that now, but it's in the beginning stages. But we've got two platforms where we can actually disseminate information, and now we got to get to the next level. Okay, the self defense is a serious thing. If we don't, as I said before, if we do not stand up and start to defend ourselves, we will be walking in the footsteps of our ancestors. All right. We look like we ran out of time, but before we get up out of here, I got a question to pose to everybody, and you guys take it and you think on it, and on the next show, you guys can tell me the answers. And this is everybody out there, and people, whoever's tuned in right now, whoever's going to watch the show later, whatever, next weekend, or I mean next Wednesday, let us know what's going on. Okay. My question is, which do you prefer? Dangerous freedom or peaceful slavery? You ain't got to answer it now. I'm going to answer it right now. I know everybody probably know. God damn it. Dangerous freedom, damn it. I want to fight. So, in any case, the question was, which do you prefer, dangerous freedom or peaceful slavery? At that, we're going to draw the conclusion to this show. I'm Brother Peace. That's Sister Ambition, conscious with a capital C. We're Real Hip Hop Heads Conscious Radio. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spread the word to your friends. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button next to it. Until next week.
Divine Justice said dangerous freedom.
Sticking to them. We out of here. Peace.
scene, I remain